I try to stand. I lost a bet to
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, their first time playing these guys this season. A year ago, going 1-2. They'd like to improve on that this go-around. And the Boston Celtics, stockpiling assets and players in recent years, a great coach in Brad Stevens. Does this team
fun skirt, but I make these high heels work. I told you time and time again, I'm not as thick as you I am.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
National anthem performer Linda Lind, and we're getting ready to go. It's the NBA here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. This Boston crowd ready to roar in this Eastern Conference matchup for the Celtics. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Milwaukee team. And last year they were able to take the edge in the series thanks to some clutch play.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, Isaiah Thomas may be small in size, but he's always dreamed big. He said, it sounds crazy, but I always thought I was going to be an NBA player, that I'd be an all-star and one of the best to play. That was in my head since I was a little boy, before I loved anything, before I knew what love was. I love the game of basketball. Kevin?
Great to hear that, DA. Thank you. Thomas plays with real passion. You can tell he loves playing the game. Some good bigs, some good forwards going head-to-head tonight. Brent, in your opinion, which teams have the best front court units right now in the NBA?
Kevin, the only one that really comes to mind right now as an established front court to me that starts and plays the bulk of the minutes is DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin in Los Angeles. Those two guys continuing to grow, learning through some losses, but more winning in recent years. It's a pretty dynamic combination, although I would tell you, Philly's got something brewing, don't you think?
There's no doubt. And Embiid is at the very beginning of that conversation. They've got some length. They've got very unique bigs. It's an interesting group to watch develop.
We could also throw in possibly Gorgie Jang and Karl Anthony Towns. Might as well include those young guys as well.
Well, anything with Towns in it, I think, has got to be part of the conversation. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Giannis and Parker, the explosive forward pair. Chris Middleton is out there with Bledsoe. And it's Henson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Bradley. And the three ball is good. Crowder's got the first bucket of the game with the three for the Celtics. And here's Bledsoe. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him two chances at the free throw line here. You know, watching Giannis and how he's able to score out there, he isn't really a consistent shooter from deep.
Well, I think what's fascinating, Kevin, is that he's dominating the game from basically around 16 feet into the rim. And with that kind of length, that's basically one step around the defender, and all of a sudden he's a threat to score or do some damage with the pass.
Now here's Bradley. Horford with the screen on Antetokounmpo. Thomas, no good.
No excuse for him not drilling that one there. The defense was nowhere to be found. Maybe could have taken a little more time.
To the middle. Back to Middleton. right at the free throw line. Here's Henson. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Henson's got his first points of the night.
Well, this is where Henson gets plenty of his points, trolling the offensive glass.
Bradley kicks to Thomas. Horford with the screen on Bledsoe. The three from Bradley. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
Yeah, when you fail to get over the top, more than likely that jumper is going to go down.
Now here's Parker. Henson the pass to Parker. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And last season, Jabari Parker added a consistent three-pointer to his tool set as a scorer.
You think about the first few games, averaging about 13, Kevin, then jumped it up to 19, and then all of a sudden, you get to December, and he's averaging over 20 a game. So for Jabari to have that kind of consistency and that kind of improvement and gain his confidence, he's got to feel good that if he gets back to health, he can still do damage in the NBA.
Now here's Johnson. Thomas kicks to Bradley. Horford with the screen on Middleton. Just 4 to shoot. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. Again, Thomas missing.
Just like to see the defensive effort get better for their ball club. They can't expect guys to miss the mid-range Jays every time.
Parker's shot is off.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Thomas with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. Shot by Crowder, no good. For Milwaukee, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Crowder with the steal. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, it's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far. Bucks trail by 4. Here's Antetokounmpo. Good work defensively by Horford.
And 1 for 5 is a tough way to start the game, Kevin. They got to get it going.
Johnson. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. And Isaiah Thomas, the 60th and final pick of the 2011 draft. Greg, he definitely plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I call it the little man syndrome. He's driven to prove himself. I mean, he's overcome the odds. In league history, only 9 players 5'9" or shorter have played 1,000 minutes or more in a season. And he's not just playing, he's playing at the highest level.
Now, here's Horford. Following the miss by Eric Bledsoe. Thomas a screen. Bradley against Parker. Tries it from 19. They get it again. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
This is when length becomes a massive, massive positive. A shot block by Giannis.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Boston leading by 4. Crowder with it. 8 points his last outing. Picked by Horford. Crowder dishes to Horford. Shoots over Henson. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. Can't connect from short range. For Boston, they've gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the defender all over.
The Celtics shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. That free throw good from Isaiah Thomas.
You look up and down this Bucks roster, and you have to do that. Up and down and over and side to side. Just so much length with this team. Giannis is certainly the biggest name with the biggest wingspan, but guys like T.Maker and T.Snell defensively, they've got great reach as well.
Now here's Henson. Al Horford with the rebound. Horford's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Bradley. Kicks to Thomas. Johnson with a screen on Bledsoe. The 3 from Bradley. Here's Horford. That shot off. Excellent D there from Parker. Bucks trail by 6. Here's Bledsoe. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity. And Brent, it seems like the Bucks are always adding length to their team.
Well, when most teams have gone smaller with their lineups, Milwaukee, very curiously, has collected a lot of
Checked in for Johnson. Jaylen Brown comes in for J.Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Avery Bradley. The free throw drops for E.Bledsoe.
Just watch E.Bledsoe out there and just the athleticism that he can play with at that position. Seems like he's still getting stronger and faster every year. He's got tremendous burst and tremendous power. Tough for opposing point guards to match that kind of physicality.
Brogdon the pass to Bledsoe. The Bucks working the ball around. Here's Antetokounmpo.
A moment now to see the numbers for Smart. Last season's performance for him averaged about 10 points a game, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And he can play some valuable minutes on the wing for this team.
I just want to kick back and lounge here because when this guy's hot, it's a love story. And when he's cold, it's a nightmare. So sit back, get your popcorn. Let's see what he does.
Horford sets a screen for Thomas. Horford with a screen on Bledsoe. Thomas kicks to Horford. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And for Bledsoe, it is said that he greatly improved his diet since establishing himself in the league.
Well, I like the fact that Bledsoe has taken this a lot more seriously. Of course, he's a very physical player, plays the point guard position, and with that kind of taxing work on your body, best thing you could do is make sure you fuel it up for that kind of action.
Here's Thomas. Antetokounmpo making his last shot. Now here's Smart. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. That one's off, still out of sync.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over. The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Brown wide open, he fires. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Here's Brogdon, it's tipped. Maker dishes to Beasley. Too open that time, made it look too easy.
The mindset right now is pretty strong. Superb at staying aggressive and right now stringing some plays together.
Horford with a screen on Brogdon. Here's Smart, that's tipped. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Bledsoe against Thomas. Beasley sets a screen for Bledsoe. He dishes it to Beasley. Now Bledsoe. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Now let's check out the rebounds and where they're coming from. Here's a breakdown showing the front court and the back court rebounding numbers for Boston.
And their bigs are getting the vast majority of those caroms, handling their business on the inside and freeing up the guards to get up the court and look for early offense.
Picked by Horford. Over to the left wing. Smart wide open. He fires. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Thomas got 3 assists in the game. Here's Bledsoe. Beasley outside. Maker with a screen for Bledsoe. The pass to Brogdon. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Smart. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Thomas. The shot goes down and it gets this game back to even. 1:46 left in the first quarter of the game. Brown against Antetokounmpo. And it's Beasley in the corner. The feed to Maker over Horford. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Maker's got his first basket.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. Coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Well, good collective team unity. Everyone pitching in, so trying to win for one another. That's a good thing.
K.Olynyk checked in for the Celtics. Rozier comes in for Isaiah Thomas.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. When you watch Giannis out there, he just looked unstoppable, Greg, at times. The way he's able to attack the rim, the blend of size, speed, and length is just unparalleled in the NBA.
And it's the movement that throws you off with Giannis. One step, and he's gone from the 3 line to the rim. There isn't any way to stop someone that skilled who's that big.
Here's Jerebko, looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Brown. Busted. No good that time either.
And getting a hand in the shooter's face, locking down that in-between area.
Well, just taking on the challenge on every possession. I love defenders who give nothing away.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. He's got 11. Maker misses. Celtics trail by 4. Here's Rozier. They set the pick. Beasley comes to the double team. Rozier kicks to Smart. 5 on the clock. Softly drops in the floater. Smart's got 5.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
E.Bledsoe passes to Maker. Right side, Antetokounmpo. Good if it goes. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Milwaukee Bucks. Scoring, rebounding, he was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. Right back after this break. Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And look what we've seen from Milwaukee. What do you think, guys?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all 5 guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
Boston trailing. And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And Milwaukee looking at who they've got. Parker and Henson, the duo inside. M.Dellavedova is out there with K.Middleton, and it's Snell in at the 3 slot. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession. Here's Bradley. 9 points last game. Hits the 3-point bomb.
And when the D is this non-existent, it's pretty easy for shooters. Fishing with dynamite.
Snell kicks to Dellavedova. Henson against Crowder. Here's Dellavedova. Parker outside, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. And the Bucks lead by 2.
Well, Jabari was ready to fire that one. You could see feet set, and he let it rip.
Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. And for Milwaukee, they're shooting at a decent 44% clip here. And Middleton kicks to Dellavedova. Bradley against Middleton. Shoots over Bradley. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Now it's a 4-point Milwaukee lead. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. And those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times when you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. And Middleton kicks to Dellavedova. 6 on the shot clock. And there's a whistle. That goes on Terry Rozier. That is his first foul of the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Dellavedova kicks to Snell. Hey, Brent, you made the NBA playoffs in your second year. Talk about the mental preparation that goes into one's first postseason as a player.
I think it's always a special time, Kevin, just because of the unknown factor. And at that time, it was the Clippers, my second season, a team that was very young and inexperienced. And so it was all fresh and new. And the biggest challenge for any coach in that sort of predicament is to make sure that players are on task and focused. We certainly were not. The Utah Jazz took care of us, and that's because of one John Stockton and Karl Malone.
Now, here's Olynyk. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Bradley. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup.
Well, you got to like his choice right there to go hard to the rack. Took it right at the teeth of the defense.
Dellavedova kicks to Snell. There's a screen. It's Parker, top of the key. Lets it go from 11. And Boston with the rebound.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
And it's Rozier missing. Milwaukee leading by 4. Dellavedova dishes to Henson. That's a 2 from Parker. And it's Parker again missing.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yeah, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Here's Dellavedova after the basket by Boston. Henson with the screen. Parker sets the screen for Middleton. Shoots over Bradley. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
Well, Middleton's still focused on the rim. Even with the hand up, drills that one.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Screen by Olynyk. Just 5 on the clock. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on J.Parker.
Yeah, and Olynyk up and down at the free throw line early in his career, but with his touch, he's bound to become more consistent.
And the Celtics franchise with the league-leading 17 NBA championships, their last in 2008.
Yeah, and with the talent and assets they possess, they might be in the hunt for banner number 18 before you know it. One of the beasts of the East, without question.
Here's Snell. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Henson. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Well, this is where he should operate. Henson has developed his skills, but has limited range.
Screen by Olynyk. Outside Brent. Launches it. And there's a whistle. That goes on Terry Rozier. That'll be his second foul of the game. Milwaukee leading by 6. And here is Dellavedova. Middleton outside. Henson with the screen. Goes up the baseline. Out of bounds. Boston takes possession.
And a chance here to check the stats for J.Crowder. Good season for him last year. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
Here's Rozier, defended by Dellavedova. And Olynyk kicks to Rozier. Boston, no good that time either.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Parker passes to Dellavedova. Step back shot. Here's Parker. Johnson with the block. Crowder goes in. Tries again, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
The Celtics shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Johnson.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He's off on the first.
get the feeling that Milwaukee hit the jackpot with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Rare to get a superstar as elite as that in the draft, but they found him. He's the biggest superstar that this team has had probably since Michael Redd or Ray Allen.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Zeller, he's checked in for Olynyk. Brown comes in for Crowder. Green, he's checked in for A.Bradley. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for T.Rozier. And Brent for the Bucks. The team knows they need to build around Giannis.
You saw that. I think Giannis loves that kind of stuff right there. His dunks sometimes get vicious.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Now here's Thomas. 29 points for him last game against Cleveland. That's it, and the Milwaukee lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Brown.
Well, that screen wasn't quite as effective as it could be. However, they find a way to get it done. Credit the shooter for overcoming that aggressive defense.
Here's Bledsoe. Maker dishes to Bledsoe. Over Thomas. Zeller grabs the board. Boston's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let him fly. Thomas against Bledsoe. Pick by Zeller. It's Brown on the wing. Another shot. That's in, and the Milwaukee lead down now to just 4 points with the basket from Johnson.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
Now, here's Brogdon. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And M.Teletovic kicks to Brogdon. 13 feet away. Here's Maker. Nails the baby hook.
And turning down what would have been a tough shot for himself into an easy one for his teammate.
Thomas with the ball. Feeds to Brown. Pick by Zeller. Beyond the arc. And it's Brown missing.
That's where I like the shot selection. The defense cannot afford to give up wide open shots. They dodged a bullet there.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Now a timeout called by Boston. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
T.Maker is one of the most intriguing players on this roster, without a doubt. As if they didn't have enough length already. Put the stretch. This guy puts the stretch in the term stretch four. And interesting last year how Jason Kidd went to him during critical moments of their playoff series. So look out for T.Maker to make some impact this year.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. A.Horford's checked in for Zeller. Jerebko comes in for Johnson. And Smart subbed in for Gerald Green.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
The dish to Maker. From deep three-point range. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. And it's 7 points for T.Maker. Celtics trail by 11. And Brent, as you said with Maker, he is a player who this team hopes to develop into a weapon in the post war.
It was amazing last year because he played just about 25 games before the All-Star break kicked in. And then all of a sudden, the minutes went up, the production went up, the confidence went up. People are thinking that T.Maker is going to be a vital part to what the Bucks do in the future.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
Yeah, that's a nice response there, leaving a voicemail in return from the three-point line. Looks like we're seeing... Oh! See the way Giannis kept going and kept his eye on the basket? That helped.
1:27 left in the first half of basketball. Outside Thomas. Floats one up, and the layup is good. Thomas got 6 points.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
Bledsoe kicks to Maker. Back to Bledsoe. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Clock at 6. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
Well, the defense looking at him like a Rubik's Cube. They cannot figure him out. He continues to light them up from the field. More importantly, they're winning.
Antetokounmpo against Brown. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. There's 31 seconds left here in the second, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And not the same rhythm or approach that he had in the first quarter when he was taking it straight to the teeth of the D and really creating contact. Like to see him get back to that here in this quarter.
And Antetokounmpo, also known as the Greek Freak, he's a very exciting player, continues to improve, and does a little bit of everything on a nightly basis.
14 feet away. Horford's shot is good.
Guys, he can get this shot anytime he wants.
You bet. With his height, not many defenders are going to challenge that mid-range jump shot.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. 21 points in the game. And he goes right over Jaylen Brown and slams it down.
Well, the D has no answers right now for Antetokounmpo. They're out there trying to spell his last name instead of trying to defend the guy.
And this is like another case of Murphy's Law right now, and it's been their own doing, really, just like we saw there.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Well, that's a nice toss up there, so you got to like the timing. But, of course, that's Giannis. He's going to grab anything.
And so it's Milwaukee, sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Jason Kidd. Jason, how do you feel about your team's performance?
I feel great. You know, we're sharing the ball, we're making the extra pass, but we're attacking the paint. And if we can continue to do that, it puts us in a good seat.
Jason, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He had a very shaky performance in their last game, but it has not affected him at all tonight. What a tremendous first half he played. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
The freak is in the house, and he's tearing it up. One of the longest, most athletic guys in the league. The big thing for Giannis to work on now is consistency with the shot and his willingness to play physical when he has to.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Boston?
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind in this game. I think if they could control those things, they'll be okay, Ernie.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
And as we return, we get a look at the Boston skyline. Those drone cameras are really something. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Antetokounmpo in this game has been everywhere.
I'll tell you what, he put together an entire highlight reel in that first half alone. Just a collection of spectacular dunks.
Yeah, I can't believe how many times he was able to get into the lane and then use his athleticism.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. J.Crowder out there with Johnson. And it's Horford in at the center position. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Thomas against Bledsoe. Just 4 to shoot. Thomas passes to Johnson. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim. And you look back to that Big Three era in Boston, you know, the Celtics have not been shy about aggressively trading to reshape this roster. You know, they've made a rapid rebuild that's really the envy of a lot of teams around our league.
He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. And that's now 6 points for Johnson. Here's Henson, and slam dunk by Henson.
Man, Antetokounmpo just distributing the ball so quickly and finding that open man with ease.
Celtics trail by 14. And as aggressive as the Celtics have been, Greg, they've also shown patience, haven't they?
Yeah, and in some ways, maybe a victim of their own success. You come out on the winning end of your trades time and again. Other GMs don't want to look bad. They get hesitant, possibly, and don't want to add their name to that list.
Parker outside, three-pointer, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 3 assists now in this one. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Thomas kicks to Horford. Outside Bradley. Over Middleton. Bradley can't get it to go.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Sometimes it takes a while for all that length in Giannis to catch up to those feet, but once he does, man, he can explode.
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Crowder with it, now guarded by Antetokounmpo, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Horford. Hey, Brent, what's more important, offense or defense? Some guys are great at both.
Well, offense is sometimes what you get paid for, Kevin, but defense is where you need a buy-in. And so to me, it's always the defense and the way that you construct that camaraderie on that end of the floor, that communication on that end of the floor, that's going to make the difference in your season.
Don't you love two-way players, though, guys that play hard at both ends? It's hard to do, but the guys that do it well really stand out.
Well, it's not football, Kevin. There's 2 sides that you have to play in basketball, and certainly the more equipped that you are to play both, the more playing time you're going to see for a coach.
It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Dishes to Middleton. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Middleton's got his 3rd bucket of the night. The Celtics have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Thomas goes in, outside Crowder. Picked by Horford. Parker with the steal. Middleton dishes to Antetokounmpo, and they double up Antetokounmpo. Passes it to Parker. Bledsoe kicks to Middleton. Parker outside. Antetokounmpo against Crowder. Just 5 to shoot. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, he might not be the biggest guy out there, but he's willing to rip that rim off.
A difficult situation for Boston. Outside Thomas. The kick out to Crowder. Boston again missing.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
Parker with the steal. Crowder with the steal. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And when you look at J.Crowder, he kind of bridges that gap between role player / star player. The numbers might not wow you, but his tough play at both ends of the court is extremely valuable.
And Greg, wouldn't you agree? Crowder clearly one of the best in the NBA in defending?
Without question. I mean, this guy guards 3 positions every night. And the combination of strength quick feet and then the quick hands make him a problem.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Now Bradley. He's got 8. He kicks to Horford. He feeds it to Thomas. 6 to shoot. Left side, Bradley. For Middleton. Parker with the steal. Middleton against Bradley. Middleton the pass to Antetokounmpo. Shoots from 14. That's good on the jump shot. Antetokounmpo's got 35.
And usually teams go on runs and it comes from a lot of layups and dunks, but not now.
Horford with the screen on Bledsoe. And the foul on J.Henson. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And the wide open shot from Crowder. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got his 6th assist on the night. Bledsoe dishes to Henson. Back to Bledsoe. Henson with the screen. Antetokounmpo kicks to Middleton. Parker with a clean look. Off target from outside.
And lots of credit for the team around him. They're picking up the slack here tonight. He just can't buy a bucket right now.
Thomas passes to Bradley. Great D that time from Middleton.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Looking to get back on track here. That shot no good. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Bucks passing it around. Here's Henson, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Timeout.
Henson's got 8 points.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now a timeout called by Boston. And last season, injuries played a large part in what derailed the Bucks. Lost Middleton before the season started. Then, of course, Parker goes down. Brent, tough break for everyone.
Clearly no chance last year to get a glimpse of what this Milwaukee Buck team could be once they're full and once they're healthy. But they do have an opportunity. Guys stronger and more improved.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's how you attack. Wow. And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
But that's a play that only works by practicing over and over and having a great rhythm with your teammate. You could see the timing there.
Beasley dishes to Middleton. Back to Beasley. Shot clock at 3. The fader in the foul on Avery Bradley. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
For 3, Middleton. It's good from long range. He's got 9.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Lobbed up there for Green. It's stolen by Maker. Easily in the post. Brown on him. Snell kicks to Maker. Beasley the screen. Middleton for 3. Another miss by Middleton. Boston shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Bradley with the ball. Now guarded by Middleton. Near the three-point line, it's Olynyk. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Milwaukee's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Dellavedova, the pass to Middleton. Beasley the screen. Here's the screen. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. 11 points for Chris Middleton.
Not a stellar first half, but he's become an absolute machine scoring the ball in the second.
Green kicks to Bradley. Inside. Bradley against Middleton. Maker. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play. That one on Olynyk. Hey, Brent, Jerry West once said that his ultimate lineup would feature 5 6'9" players. I like that. In a league that features so much switching, and you were just talking about this, would that be the perfect recipe for a versatile lockdown defender?
Well, I'd take 4 6'9" players in Jerry West. How about that? That might be
always include West with anybody, right? West with anybody.
No doubt about it. At 6'9", I think what Jerry's alluding to there, Kevin, is the fact that each of those guys would have a tremendous amount of length to cover up the floor. So foot quickness, lateral movement, and then that length to bother anybody, not only challenging shots, but also getting to the rim and making sure that there's some protection around the interior part of your defense.
Bradley kicks to Green. Clock at 6. They set the screen. The floater. Here's Olynyk. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. He's 0 of 2 at the line in this one. First one falls for
Olynyk.
And so he makes both from the line.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Timeout called, the Bucks.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
Here's Teletovic is checked in for Milwaukee. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going for Antetokounmpo.
And this is a grown man shot chart right here. Not too much going on outside, but look at how things are for them in the paint. They are attacking the rim and not settling for the jump shot. And right now it's paying off in bunches. If I'm them, then I'd continue to do the same thing going forward until an adjustment is made.
For 3, Middleton buries it from three-point range. Middleton's got 10 points in just the second half.
Middleton cashes in on the pick and roll, and that nice high release opens up a shooting window.
Bradley against Middleton. Shot off the pick. The shot will not fall.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Beasley dishes to Maker. Pass to Dellavedova. Bucks passing it around. Middleton on the wing, guarded by Bradley. Unloads from 13. Middleton can't get it to go. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Here's Brown. Olynyk, a screen on Teletovic. Here's Brown. Banked in off the glass.
And you got to respect how accomplished Brown is down low, destroying whoever is in his way.
Dellavedova, the pass to Maker. Here's Middleton. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Middleton's got 16 points.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Rozier. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Olynyk, a screen on Middleton. And Bradley gets it to go.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
Yeah, when you fail to get over the top, more than likely that jumper is going to go down.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Here's Teletovic, and it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. Well, we thought the third quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing it up, and even before we look at the replay, I'm pretty sure he got that off in time.
Well, they're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, and looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
And so it's Milwaukee with a 34-point advantage heading into the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And meanwhile, Coach Brad Stevens talking to his team.
Pace of play is a big part of tonight, okay? Make sure on the bench when we come back, we lift it. We lift it.
One of the team's great young teachers, Brad Stevens, wanting his guys to control the tempo.
Yeah, and he feels if they push it, if they attack intelligently, it's going to be to their advantage.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. On the court for the Bucks, Snell and Giannis filling out the wing. Spencer Hawes out there with Parker, and it's Brogdon in at the point guard. To the paint, Crowder kicks to Rozier. Here's Jerebko. No good on the triple. Milwaukee's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. The offensive rebound, and it's blocked. And the dunk by Parker.
Well, after the knee injury that Parker suffered as a rookie, you just really hoped all that explosiveness would come back. It did in a big way. Unfortunately, had another tear of the ACL, which started the process over again. But given his track record, I think he'll be back to form.
One shot.
And with Parker, that ability to cover so much distance so quickly is what makes him a tough assignment as a defender. Brett, you know, you hope the explosiveness can return after his latest setback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He worked very hard to get it back just last season, and I expect him to do the same. And he just kept getting stronger as the season went on. That combination of Parker and Giannis on the wing started making people look at the Bucks in a little bit different light. And when Jabari's at full strength, boy, can he be explosive.
And the double up on Antetokounmpo. And no good that time. Now the Celtics take it the other way. They host the 76ers after this game. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. Bucks have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Now on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Man, that's great signs. Take the contact, keep your focus, and still get the score.
In other sports, the drafts have so many rounds, the scouts have a lot of work to do, but with only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, Brent, can the GM really just cover most of it?
I think the GMs, at least the smartest GMs, Kevin, have a great team behind them that gets out there, gathers as much information as possible, and does as much in terms of not only the play, but the player, the dynamics of the player, his characteristics, what he's about. To bring all that information to a general manager and present it to him before the draft, teams do a great job of targeting guys that they think are going to enhance their roster.
And now the international realm comes into play too.
Well, if I signed you up for my Mediterranean scouting service, Kevin, would you do it?
Yeah, I do it for free.
I'll see you over there.
Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Rozier, the pass to Smart. Kicks it to Jerebko. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, hasn't it, guys? As far as taking care of the basketball, immaculate at halftime, but he's had too many miscues here in the second half.
Henson's checked in for the Bucks. And the Bucks with possession here. They've played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I don't think you're stopping Giannis on a drive like that. He just takes off and one stride gets by everybody.
The Celtics have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. They set the pick. Pick by Zeller. Rozier kicks to Jerebko. Smart passes to Rozier. The Celtics working the ball around now. Clock at 4. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Looked a little bit forced. No reason for it either. The defense was not even in the frame.
It's deflected, and they're able to recover. Out to Parker. Hits the jumper in space. Parker's got 11 points here in just the second half.
You play within the offense, and you take good shots. Jabari Parker did just that. That's what you want to see.
Will it go? Boston again missing.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't gone to his head. He may be trying too hard at this point.
Knocked loose. And now, here comes Antetokounmpo leading the break.
I don't know, 2 strides, 3 strides, what was that? Giannis covering some ground.
And so it's Boston with it. Smart kicks to Jerebko. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Nailed from three-point land.
And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
Antetokounmpo. Zeller grabs the board.
And forcing the miss there. He just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Wait, did you just say trickeration, G.A.? I think it's a size disadvantage there that he was willing to attack, but you have to develop that skill set and have counters.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Davis is checked in for Crowder, and Thomas subbed in for T.Rozier. And at 6'4", 220, Marcus Smart with terrific strength for a combo guard, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, he can just flat out bully most guards and even hold his own against the bigs. Beyond, though, that physical stature, it's his mentality that makes him special. He's a fire breather, just the type of player the Celtics look for.
Outside Thomas. Zeller setting the pick for Thomas to the inside, and he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
So the value of NBA teams now on average over $1 billion each if you include all the different things they have and run. And Brent, when you take a look at that and take that into consideration, what are some of the big things the league has done to generate such growth?
Well, I think this is where you have to commend both David Stern and Adam Silver in terms of being progressive with how in touch they are with the game of basketball, addressing it internationally much better than the NFL has done it, in my opinion, over the course of the past 2 decades, where they know they've got this tremendous fan base, not only in Europe, but certainly in Asia and China. And they're more than willing, Kevin, to go to those markets, expose those players, and get them enthusiastic and excited about what our game offers.
Jerebko at the elbow. Davis sets a screen. Jerebko dishes to Zeller. And Henson pulls it down. Henson's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Right side, Antetokounmpo. Brownie's checked in for Davis, and Bradley's subbed in for Smart. And here is Thomas. Horford with a screen on Brogdon. And Thomas, here we go. Over in the corner, Brown. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. And that's now 7 points for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, and they are living and dying from beyond the arc since halftime. It's a different look than what we saw in the first half.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and Antetokounmpo slams it in.
That's attacking the rack. Antetokounmpo on the take and muscled his way in.
Here's Boston now. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Johnson sets the screen for Thomas. Johnson the screen. Parker with the steal. Oh, and here we go. Antetokounmpo, nobody back. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Good quick hands from Antetokounmpo there, reacting well on defense and swiping that one away.
Picked by Horford. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
The second half, they haven't taken care of the basketball. Simply put, more turnovers now that could hurt them later.
Middleton's checked in for the Bucks. E.Bledsoe comes in for M.Brogdon. Bledsoe against Thomas. Bledsoe kicks to Antetokounmpo. To the paint, here's Henson. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
The Celtics have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. And Thomas has it in the corner. Drills the three-pointer.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the three ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Onside Bradley. The tray. Offensive rebound. Brown. Good. Brown's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Bucket earned, out-muscling and out-hustling everybody for the rebound.
Parker kicks to Bledsoe. Bucks passing it around. Down low. Kicks it down to Middleton. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And he uses the glass. 9 points in the game.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Brown the pass to Thomas. And a miss there on the triple. Milwaukee has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Bledsoe outside. Parker dishes to Henson. The pass to Parker. And the dunk by Parker.
Yeah, I love how Jabari gets to the rim and goes strong, that time up over the top.
The Celtics have gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%. Thomas against Bledsoe. Free throw line jump shot. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around him.
Picked by Horford. Here's the screen. Horford double team. Brown outside. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. And 12 points for Jaylen Brown.
Great to see Brown drop that perimeter jumper, showing off his terrific stroke from beyond the arc.
And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Thomas against Bledsoe. Parker with the steal.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Bucks.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Just a force on the glass, did a fantastic job crashing the boards and coming up with seemingly every rebound.
Thomas.
Oh, the officials are all over that
one. No good on the free throw.
Isaiah Thomas.
And he sinks the second.
Not a perfect trip to the free throw line, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
Antetokounmpo with the ball. Puts it up from 12, and that one goes long.
Perfect defense. Contesting without fouling, exactly what you want to do, especially deep into the paint.
Bradley with the ball. Now guarded by Middleton. Bledsoe against Thomas. To the paint, 5 to shoot. He used that pick to get in close.
Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
12 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Antetokounmpo, and the jam by Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip to see the focus. They're ready to do battle.
So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Jabari, looks like you're getting back in stride, and you have certainly had adversity with the knee injuries the last few years. How have you been able to battle through them?
It's been tough, to tell you the truth, but, you know, the race is not won to the swift, but the one to endure, so I'm trying to keep that motive.
You have certainly endured and thrived, Jabari. Thanks for your time. Kevin, back to you.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. See you next time.